People, deluded, I'm back again. Arsenal won, Sheffield United won. In short, people, can't speak for you lot, but for me it's a bittersweet story. In the game, we didn't play like a team that really deserved to win today. Kind of got lucky taking the lead. Kind of failed to manage the game in short. Either go out there and get a second or third, considering Sheffield have gained many plaudits this season and were quite slow to start the game, or it just were quite poor and short by their own standards. We really didn't do enough to get the goal in the 45th minute or whatever, 40th minute, whenever it was. But we failed to build on that, or we failed to see out the lead. I don't feel it's a game where everybody was poor and it's ranting and raving. I just feel we lost this game because we were very lethargic. We were quite slow. I felt we were quite, whether it was the defenders playing out from the back or the midfielders or the front men, were being sloppy in possession. A couple of times we're gifting opportunities to Sheffield because of that. Just not really playing with, or the sort of intent we've been playing with based on our games at home against Chelsea and United recently. I felt we kind of lacked, apologies people, I felt we kind of lacked that. And I felt Sheffield, we woke up for a second, the second half, and to be fair, Sheffield were banging on the door before they scored, but it's a bittersweet story, man. I don't feel anyone was appalling today and, you know, all of them things, but yeah, man, I feel really and truly, I felt there was players that played good as well, but I feel if I had to put my money on who really, you know, I couldn't ask more sort of thing from today, given the dynamics, I would say Saka, felt he put in a shift. Martinelli, felt he put in a shift. And that pushed potentially to Torreira. I feel Maitland held it up. I feel Pepe held it up. I feel shout out to Xhaka for clearing it off the line. But even he, by his own recent standards, was kind of poor today. No one was amazing today, really and truly, in truth, people. So with that, and while rambling, we might as well review the player ratings. Starting with Leno, and make sure I don't miss no one else out. Give Leno a 6, really. I felt today he weren't really tested too tough, but for me it's mainly the distribution. Nobody was really quality in possession today per se, and I felt Leno, by his own standards, his distribution was kind of off today. But I felt he's a 6, man. Like, typically I can't ask more of Leno, really and truly. Maitland-Niles, I'll give a 6 today. I felt he had a decent performance. I felt being at the game personally, people, I felt we could have done more a bit down the right hand side. I feel Pepe and Maitland were good, but there was a lot of space on the right hand side in that game, and I was thinking Maitland, attack that, you know, make some use of it. Not just him, but a lot of players. There's a lot of space, and you don't necessarily have to pass it backwards or inside. You might as well attack that space. I feel where Pepe was a bit different because he had the beating of his man, and sometimes he can stop it and skill a man up, and he's a bit slow in that regards. I feel Pepe is different, car. His thing is more, you need to see the picture what you want to do before you've done it. That's the difference between him and players of the top quality in the Prem right now, because you get it, Mo Salah has seen, I'm cutting in on this defender, I'm banging it. At times Pepe don't really know that, but I feel Maitland a 6. I feel he was a bit slow by his own standards in the second half. He's done very well recently. Like I said, I don't feel anyone played appalling, but no one was amazing. So I feel I'll give Maitland a 6, to be fair with you. Mustafi, again, Mustafi was a bit mukey in possession, and one pet peeve of Mustafi is one of them, man. I hated playing with them in Sunday League, in that when they do the wrong things at times, they blame in other players, and it's quite jarring. I felt everybody was sloppy, especially the defenders in possession to a degree. But I don't necessarily feel Mustafi was anywhere worse or better than any of the other players. It was a so-so performance for many people. I'm going to watch the game again. I'm going to definitely watch the goal again. And I don't feel he played amazing. And a couple of times he was sloppy in possession, but he weren't poor. It was an okay performance from everyone. So I'll give him a 5. I'll give Luiz a 5 as well. I'll give Saka a 7 because he put in work and got the assist as well, people. I'll give Torreira a 7 as well. To be honest, Saka, do you know what? It's only because while I feel everyone was good, no one was amazing like that. Saka, Martinelli and Torreira in particular could get higher ratings, but I don't feel everybody played amazing. I feel there were some decent individual performances. So a 7 for Saka, a 7 for Lucas Torreira. I mean, if you watch football, you watch Arsenal, you see what Torreira gives us, so I don't need to ramble on about him. I'll give Xhaka a 5. Maybe 6. Yeah, I'll give Xhaka a 6. I'll give Xhaka a 6. I feel he was poor by his own standards today. He gifted away possession a lot of the times, but I feel in the second half he upped his own performance a bit, and I'm pretty sure he cleared the shot off the line. I could be wrong about that, but I'll give him a 6. Probably should give Pepe a 7, you know, by just from there was some credibility in his performance, but I feel more so a 6. But I'll give Pepe a 7. I feel first half he looked like the one that was going to make something happen for us. I feel Pepe just ran out of gas in the second half for me, people. I know Lacazette got subbed for Eddie, but I felt Pepe could have as well, because it looked like the counter-attack was on in the second half, and Pepe just looked like he was running out of gas. So it could be a 6, it could be a 7. I'm going to give Pepe a 7. I feel what he needs to, like I said, when you see the picture, do it, because at times him and Maitland-Niles, they're in the final third and I don't feel they're making the right decisions. In my humble opinion as a fan, I feel a couple of times Pepe could have just unleashed a shot. Not just him, a lot of people, especially because Aubameyang is not their people. Well, it is what it is. You know, I'll be generous and give Pepe a 7. On another day, I'll give it a 6, because like I said, no one was poor, but there's no point gassing it up, people. I feel Pepe did his thing today, but looking for a bit more. Martinelli, I'll give a 7. I feel, do you know what? I'll give Martinelli an 8, man. I'll give Martinelli an 8. At the end of the day, he scored. I don't feel his movement was amazing, but he was making that run off the last shoulder, and Aubameyang's the only one that kind of does that, and players weren't necessarily trying to play that ball. I feel Martinelli put a shift in. I feel if you look at the team sheet when Arteta's telling these players, Martinelli's kind of been the one, give or take, with Saka and Torreira that's repaid the manager's faith, and we all love Martinelli, and it's important that we recognise he's a young man. There will be times when he's going through poor form, but right now he deserves his spot. We're not even looking at him as a young player, him and Saka again. They're genuine members of this side, and listen, I feel the older players need to stand up to be counted, but Martinelli done what he could today, so I'll give him an 8. I'll give Ozil a 4. I feel Ozil was anonymous today, really and truly. Could get a 5 on another day, but I feel mainly Ozil was anonymous, like against Leeds. And you lot know me, I always defend Ozil, but I felt mainly for Ozil. Whatever you say about Ozil and all the critics, when you talk about that final pass, and you know what I'm talking about, people, all of them sort of things there, Ozil's normally, 100% passing accuracy and all these things. And for someone like Mesut Ozil, I feel he was giving the ball away a lot, to be fair. Maybe he could get a 5, because I did see in the second half him passing the ball forward a bit more. But I felt Mesut in particular was poor. You lot know me, I don't advocate scapegoating, and I call it fair, but I feel Ozil was quite poor today, like very poor today. Lacazette was involved in the goal. I feel like Lacazette worked hard today still. Like, I feel the first half with Pepe, I thought he looked like I'll give a 6 to Lacazette. I feel he worked hard today. Obviously, we didn't take no shots as a team, really and truly. I know we scored, and statistically, I don't know for the stats, but being at the game, being sat behind Dean Henderson at a point in one half, didn't really see us test the keeper. Can't really say. Obviously, he's someone that people, like I said in the previous vid, people speaking about for playing for England and things. If Southgate was at the game today, would he necessarily decide, and through no fault of Henderson, because his defence did the right job in this logic, saying, yeah, you're coming Euros? He weren't tested. We didn't see his reflexes. We didn't really see how he commands his area and things. We didn't really, and I felt with obviously Thingy not being there, we could have done more. Fair enough, we took 11 shots, but only 4 on target, and it depends what you define as shots, because was there really any quality efforts, give or take, with the goal? Not really, people. 4 shots apiece between the two sides, for anyone who wants to know. Well, 4 shots on target apiece. Sheffield had 12 shots, we had 11. Obviously, we both share the spoils in getting a point. I don't feel I'm missing anyone else out. Obviously, the substitutes, Nketiah was... I felt sorry for Joe and Guendouzi, because at a point it looked like both of them were coming on, then had to sit back down, and then had to come on. It is what it is, and then it looked like Joe was going to come on in the last minute. I did feel in that... Lacazette got subbed. Did Ozil complete 90 minutes? I'm sure... No, Ozil must have got clipped. No, I don't think he did, but I feel Ozil... Pepe because he ran out of gas, Ozil because he was poor today, and Lacazette because he ran out of gas. I felt they could have all been subbed a bit sooner. Obviously, whatever you say about them, and given the context of Sheffield and they're very street smart and whatnot, age doesn't matter, but I can see why a couple of them played both all the game, because you can't really take out... We drew anyways, but taking all that experience out the side, it could have gone another way. We should have scored more. We should have created more. Sheffield United had a couple booky moments before they scored, and on another day, like we've seen with Arsenal, we're 1-0 up and we lose this 2-1. But there are no positives really and truly. Like I said, Pepe had a good, decent performance of sorts. Martinelli and Saka for me. Torreira was okay, but no one's really... I'm sure none of these players are necessarily ecstatic about their individual performances. We lost this game not because Sheffield were amazing, no disrespect. It's because we really slow to start the game and failed to manage it when we was a goal up, really. And just the passing, really. The passing and the movement, all the things Arteta's given these boys and they've reacted well to it weren't really there today. But it is what it is in that regards. On that note, people, deluded. I'm out. Thank you for watching and rocking as usual.